and actually, I really wanted Michael Porter Jr.
Oh
Right,
yeah, I've heard so many people say this. I think we
and
probably should have drafted him too.
I think because this was the year we was losing LeBron, right? So you knew you was losing a wing, right? You know how impactful a wing is. You knew Michael Porter Jr. was potentially supposed to be number one, but with injuries, he dropped down, but he dropped down too far.
Mm.
And you basically let Denver get a steal, get a number one pick still, and now look at what it's looking like for Denver, right? You got a player who, could be a superstar for at the 17th, 18th pick, and that could have been Cleveland, especially if you really believe Cleveland needed a guard, right? Because I feel like in the league, it is so many options for guards in the league that even if you miss out on a superstar guard, you can get one in free agency or trade. It is so much easier to get a average point guard than it is to get an average small forward in the league.
That's pretty spot on, to be honest. Like, as well as he probably knew Jeff Green was leaving that free agency as well, which is another forward. And if he could have also gone with the goal to maybe trade Kevin Love that, free agency. So you lose Kevin Love, power forward, Jeff Green forward, LeBron James forward. Why not draft Michael Porter? Like, he was right there in front of him, and he just fumbled the bag, really. So it was still so weird. But honestly, drafting Colin Sexton, I think it was just almost a best available type thing. Like, he hadn't really figured out a direction. At that point, the real big GMs too have almost scouted the next draft. So if Kobe Altman also went into that draft thinking we were going to be a good team in the future, which we were always going to be on the rebuild again. But if he was smart and knew we were going to be a bad team, he could have drafted a forward that free agency and then looked at next free agency when there was players like Darius Garland who were already killing it in high school. He could have gone out and drafted them.
Yeah, and even on that subject, I'm glad you brought that up too, because I was saying that too. Like, even I know because there was people saying, "Why would you draft Michael Porter Jr. if he's potentially going to be redshirt?" Right, right. For Cleveland's perspective, if you know you're not a playoff contending team now, you don't have Bron, you don't have Kyrie, why are you worried about going to the playoffs when you have a whole bunch of players who have never shown you to be playoff caliber players?
Yeah.
So worst case scenario, you let Michael Porter Jr. rest like Sixers did with Ben Simmons and Joel, and get another top pick. So now you got Michael Porter Jr. Well, he used to be top three. You put him along another top three, and now you potentially could be back in it, right? 2-3 more years of development, and your team is looking scary. So I just feel like Kobe Altman, he takes chances at the weird times, at very weird times. Like he took a chance with Kevin Porter Jr. was excellent, but he doesn't take chances when it comes to, yes, Kevin Porter Jr. had the debacle, but just let him redshirt another year. Like he was already not playing. What's you not letting him play the other half of the season gonna hurt, right? Because that's all Houston did. They let him play like 5-6 games in the G League and had him back on the court, and now all of a sudden he's looking like a superstar. Like, and I just always feel like Cleveland has always been in a situation where we've had talent, we just never had patience with them.
Yeah,